Hello, today I am showing you how I created my Eerie background for my Happy Halloween Voodoo doll card. And I am working on a white cardstock. I think it's Nina Solar White. And I've measured it to be 4.23 by 5.48, and I like to have it a little bit smaller than my A2 or 4.25 by 5.5 inch card base, so that I get a little bit of a border around the edges. So how I started out was with Twisted Citron Distress Oxide inks, and I blended that up in the top 3/4 of my card panel, and really focusing a lot of that Twisted Citron in the upper left hand corner. And then once I laid that ink down, then I switched to Mowed Lawn, and I am inking the rest of it, leaving a circle in the upper left hand corner because I am planning on putting a moon there. And at this point, I don't think I'm sure whether it's going to be a full moon. I end up doing a crescent moon, or I think that's what you call it, but that is going to be in that yellowy circle. And then I move to Distress Oxide Black Soot, and I start laying that down. And with the background, the ink, and I like Halloween backgrounds because it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have a beautifully ink blended sky, because Halloween is all about like unusual, creepy, eerie. So I'm trying to go for that eerie, foggy, lit sky. And I think I got something on there. And so I used a little brush to brush it off. But yes, so I'm focusing on the edges and just working my way up, blending it all in. And ink blending, it can take a while, so I have sped this up quite a bit, just for the sake of time. And I am using a brush, the Rabbit Hole Designs brushes. I love these brushes. However, I have been finding that with any brush you use with Distress Oxide inks, I'm not a fan of using the brushes with Distress Oxide inks, and I'm currently starting to change over from a brush to a little foam circles with the wood handle from Ranger. They work, I find, really well with Distress Oxide inks. It's just, I think there's something in the Distress Oxide inks that does something to the brushes so that it glumps together a little bit more. So here I am, just ink blending it all around. And then I will use the Celestial stencil from Sweet Sentiment. It's an awesome stencil that has a bunch of different celestial shapes, and like it's got a couple of different moons. It's got the craters and stuff that you can add to your moon, stars and stuff like that. So it's a really versatile stencil to use. And I am going to place that in the upper left hand center by where my bright spot is. And I'll use the stencil with the unicorn. Yeah, there is the stencil there. And I'll use unicorn white and just blend it in. I don't want a real stark moon. I just want a little bit of a hazy moon, because again, I want this to be real eerie. So I use that there, and as it dries, it gets a little more dull. And then I am positioning my little voodoo doll on where I want it, and adding a little bit more, around the edges to, just darken that up and make it look a little more polished, so I don't have like a white cut edge around my paper. And then I will use my Barely Art Precision Art Glue to glue my little voodoo doll on. And this set comes with a bunch of little images. There's 3 voodoo dolls and then some other little fun things that go with it. And there's a coordinating die set, but I just fussy cut mine out and added it to my panel. And then I am going to use the Fall Sentiments stamp set from Sweet Sentiment. And you can see, you know, there's not just Halloween sentiments, but you know, Halloween, fall, it's really, really great. And the fonts are all different. And I love this one. They're all great, but I am a fan of making Halloween cards. It's no joke for me. I love Halloween cards. I make cute ones. You know, I make spooky ones. You know, the spookier the better, actually, because my family are all into the spooky factor of Halloween. So there we go. Isn't that an awesome font? I love it. And then I'm going to back it onto black, as you'll see. So I am using a card base A2 size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base, and it's top folding. And then I just glue my, sorry, my dog wants out. Glue my black card panel on there, and then my inked up card. And that is it. For the card, I don't add any embellishments. It's a one layer card. So thank you so much for visiting. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.